Hey everybody, so we are on box 17 of my board game collection. So I'm just unpacking all the games since we just moved. And this is a 17th box and there's 26 total. So I guess the end is near. We're getting there slowly. I still have a wall of boxes in front of me just behind the camera. But we're getting there. So then that's exciting. First thing I have is here is Cash and Gun Team Spirits, and I've kind of combined this with the Cash and Gun boxes, and these are just extra pieces that was in here. I don't know, probably not going to keep I don't tend to keep empty expansion box just because who has that kind of space? So, but I still have this one for now. I also have Ashes Reborn. And this is the upgrade kit. So it takes your regular Ashes game and it upgrades the cards to become the Reborn, which has a few changes to it. And I'm keeping this one because if I ever get another expansion to the original Ashes that doesn't have the upgrade, so all of these ones basically, then these are the upgraded kit cards for that. Ashes is an amazing, amazing game. So that's what that one is for. Then in here, I also have Shakespeare. And Shakespeare, from what I understand, is it a worker placement game? So you have your player board and you're putting on a play and you need to hire actors and you need to hire people to create the decorations and the costumes, and you're putting on this Shakespearean play. And I have never played it. I've heard amazing things about this. This is getting rave reviews. So I'm really excited to play. I found a copy secondhand, so because I think it is maybe out of print. So I bought it and then just I gotta get time to get it to the table. I have a lot of games I gotta get played. This being one of them. And then I have Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, the Monster Box of Monsters expansion. So this is just an expansion for the Harry Potter. It brings in extra characters. Luna Lovegood. Does it bring Jenny as well as a character? I don't remember. And I've never played this one yet, because every time I play Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, we tend to play with new players. So then it's like somebody, oh, and I've never played this. I'm like, well, we're not going to add this yet. Let's start from the beginning, you know. And then so it's just never happened that I got to play with you know, players that had played everybody had played before to kind of add the expansion to it. So I haven't done that yet. Then I have Thanos Rising. This is it's a neat game. So you have this Thanos in the middle of the board, and you have all these area in the outside, and you're going around trying to collect these different stones. The Infinity Stones for the gauntlet, and there's dice, and it's a neat game. Now, it's one that I found was really, because you got to do kind of reset in between turns, and we always forgot to, and it was kind of, you really got to make sure you don't skip that step, and we kept doing that. But it was super neat, kind of thematic to the Avengers movies, and I really looking forward to playing this one again. And then I have, it's a dice shuffler. My stepson Nick cannot shuffle to save his life, so as a gag gift, I got him a dice shuffler for his birthday, and he's like, oh, I will be using this, and it regularly gets pulled out when we're playing games for him to shuffle cards, or if there's like big decks to kind of, or you know, like big decks to shuffle, then we'll be pulling this out. So good old-fashioned dice shuffler or card shuffler. And then I have the Chameleon Game. I played this one. It's a party game, and it's kind of cool. So you have a card that has all these different words for this different category, and everybody gets a card that kind of has a code on it that tells you A1, for example, and it'd be like, hey, this is the word. And one person gets a card that says you're the chameleon. So you don't know what the word is. And you're going to go around, you're going to give a clue to what the word is. And if you know what the word is, that's simple. But you don't want to make your clue so obvious that the chameleon can guess what the word is. So you want to be vague, but not so vague that people think, like, she has no idea what the word is. She's probably the chameleon. So you kind of go around doing that, and it was neat. It was a lot of fun. Kind of a party social deduction game. So, and then I have Ricochet Robot. This was a thrift store find that I purchased for like a couple bucks. And it's such an amazing game. I didn't know how cool it was when I bought it, but you have these tiles and they're double-sided and you just put them together in any order. And then you have these little robots that are placed in these different locations, and then you'll flip a tile over, and then that's like a location that's on one of the, let's say it's this one here. So then you got to get that robot of that color to land on this spot. And then the robot, when they move in a straight line, and they stop only when they hit something. And then you can send them in another direction at that point or whatever. So you have all these straight lines you're trying to create, and you're trying to get these robots to that location. And whoever can do it and figure it out first, and then the least amount of move, then gets that token as a point. It takes me a while when I play this game to kind of get my brain to start thinking this way. Like, this is an ultimate abstract strategy game, and it's a great one, and you're like flicking these robots around trying to get it to that space. And I mean, there was one that was like, hey, I can do it in 32 moves. And that's ridiculous. How do you even remember how many moves you are when it's that high? But then be like, hey, I can do it in 5. It's like, oh wow, okay, yeah, no, you, but then, and then they have to show and prove that they can do it. It's a great game. I really like this one. Then I have, this is a game that I had purchased at Gobfest, and it's Heroes of Graxia, the card game. I know very little about this. I mean, at the end at the flea market, we're like giving each other the games we had. So it's a deck building game for 2 to 6 players. So it looks interesting, like the theme. So we'll give that a try. And then I have Card Against Humanity and Card Against Humanity, the red box. You know what? I don't think I've ever played this game because this isn't really mine. This is my son's game because him and his friends think this game is just so hilarious, and it oftenly gets pulled out when all of the friends come over and then they decide to play Cards Against Humanity. So, so we have it. So there you go. And then I have Dice Throne Adventure. So Dice Throne Adventure takes your regular game of Dice Throne, which is normally your like 1 versus 1 battle game, but then it makes it into a cooperative dungeon crawl game where you're battling the big monsters of the dungeon. Such a cool game, but it's more like a campaign style game. So you're gonna go through the through the game with a character that you got, and you can level up and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, it's really neat, and heavy. So Dice Throne Adventure. I traded my, I mentioned earlier in an earlier video that I had purchased Suburbia, the collector's box, and I ended up selling it, and I sold it so that I could buy this one instead. And then I have Unlock, which the Adventures of Oz. So what's neat with the Unlock games is once you kind of figure out the puzzle, nothing gets destroyed, you just pass it on to the next player. And this is the only one that I have on hand right now that I haven't completed yet. So I still, difficulty is a 3 out of 3, so that's going to be fun. So I still need to get this one done. And then get my hands on new ones that I haven't done yet. I really do enjoy the Unlock series. And then in here, I also have, I have teenage boys that are like 15, 16. And I mean, when they were littler, it used to be your mama jokes that they would say at the dinner table. And I'd be like, kids, for real, I you both have the same mom, first of all, and it's me and I'm right here, but they would do your mama jokes. And now that they're 15, 16, it's that's what she said joke. So I came across this game and I bought it for my oldest as a Christmas gift because it was just too funny, because they'll be saying something and it'll be like, you know, I was like, oh, I can't take it anymore. I was like, yeah, that's what she said. I was like, oh my God, guys, this is terrible. This is kind of like your Cards Against Humanity or the Game of Things, but in a that's what she said format. And I played it with my two 16-year-old boys, my son and my stepson. And it was oh so awkward. Funny. It was funny, but very awkward. So that's what this game is. Then I have Civilization, the board game. And this game is really cool. I've played it just the one time, but you get, because it's a kind of a bigger game to play, but each player board has this little dial thing that kind of keeps track of things. And then you have your map in the middle and your like, you know, kind of spreading your civilization across that. It was neat. It was fun. I really like civilization games, or the idea of them, because I buy them all the time, but I don't necessarily get them played all the time. But this one was great. Civilization, the board game. All right. And then I have Mystery of the Abbey. So this is kind of like the next level Clue. That's a little bit more advanced than Clue. And it was neat. I've only played it the one time, and we kept forgetting that you didn't have to answer, and we just kept answering all the time anyways. But it plays in a bit like Awkward Guess, where you're not just showing your card, you trade cards. So it'll be like, hey, and it's like, okay, and then you give the cards away, and so, but you're going in different areas of the Abbey trying to figure out who committed the murder. Really neat game, and it's out of print, so it's kind of pretty much impossible to find right now, so I'm probably going to be keeping my copy for that alone. And then I have Evolution. So Evolution is a game that I purchased a while back when I first kind of got into the hobby, and the kids, for some reason, they just loved it, and they would ask to play this one again. And at first I was like, I mean, it was okay, but okay, fine, we'll play. And then I would play it again. I was like, oh, okay. And then the more I played, I was like, oh, wow, this was such a good game. And then I played, it's like, oh my God, this game was amazing. And it just keeps getting better and better. And basically is you build your animal. Like, so you get your animal and you start giving them different traits that will give them special abilities. So maybe they'll get a shell, or they'll get a long neck so they can feed on the tall tree, so they get to feed faster. Or, you know, there's all these different things that you can give them, make them fat, so they get fat tissue, so you can actually store food for the next round. And then you feed them all. And if you can't feed them, then they die off, so then your population goes down. And it's really neat. It's really fun. And you can actually go like where you become a carnivore, and then you eat the other animals instead of having to eat the vegetation if food becomes scarce, right? Yeah, the more I play it, the more I like this one, and this one is Evolution. Then in here, I also have Sid Meier's Civilization, A New Dawn. So it's another Sid Meier's Civilization game. Really, really enjoy this one. This one plays a lot faster, it seemed like. And I've played this one a few times, and you have the map, and you kind of have these towns, and then you develop all around, and then once you've developed all around, it gives you extra abilities that you can do. The action selection in this one was really cool, because you kind of, as it's at the number 5, and there's more you can do with this, a most powerful location, and if you activate it, it should kind of shift all the way down, so then all the other action shifts up as well. I've played, like I mentioned, this one a couple of times, and I really like it, so hoping to play this one again. Oh, the action selection, I guess, is a lot from the one from Ark Nova, because I was watching a review on Ark Nova, and they were mentioning how this was like this one. Was it Ark Nova? I think it was Ark Nova. So yeah, Civilization, A New Dawn. And then I also have in here, oh my, and this is not even well, it's a 4 cubic feet box, so it's big enough. Sorcerer City, and this one is a real-time tile laying game. So you all start with the same tiles, and you kind of start the timer, and then you got to create, and you're trying to connect these groupings of colors. And then the bigger the grouping, it'll kind of give you majority and the different things. And then you can kind of spend that to acquire new tiles and to get points and that sort of stuff. And I've played this one the one time and it was so cool. No, Table Hog. This took a lot of space, and I think we played 4 or 5, like the highest player count, and it took a lot of space. But it has like that, oh my god, I gotta build it. It's like, oh my god, where am I gonna put it? And then like you're got the time crunch. So I like that in the games. So I've got a few games that does that, and I do enjoy that. So that one is Sorcerer City. And I only have one more game in here, and this is the last one from this box, and it's Gizmos. I got this as a Christmas gift from my mother. I'd never played it before, but it's cool. And it has like this little gumdrop dispenser that has marbles in it. And you have this little circle thing where you can put your marbles in there. And then it's an engine building. And this is like a pure engine building. And you're adding these things. And then if you draw this, it allows you to draw an extra marble, either from the line or from inside. And then you spend your marbles to be able to buy these cards to add more stuff into your deck. And it's fun. It's a really neat, fun game. We've played it a couple of times now since Christmas, probably, I don't know, a handful of times. And it's one that goes over well. So it's a lot. It's one that, everybody who's played it in my family has really enjoyed it. So Gizmos. And then that was the last one from this box. So it was the first one from my wall of boxes. So slowly making progress. I have games on shelves now. It's not organized in any way whatsoever at this point. I'm just putting them out so I can get to the next box. But yeah, so be sure to watch tomorrow's video to see what other games I have in my game collection. So bye everybody.